Alright guys, welcome back to the Combustion Guys YouTube channel, and today we're hunting NASCAR Throwback paint schemes for the Darlington Throwback race. So we're going to see what kind of paint schemes we got. So we're here at NASCAR, so let's see what paint schemes we have. And if you don't see some paint schemes that might actually be running, that's because they haven't been announced by the time I'm making this video, so therefore they miss out on a chance to be mentioned. But I'm sure there'll be at least one or two more that will look pretty good. So let's take a look here. Starting off with the Cup Series, we got the Ross Chastain Busch Light Throwback. Looks good, looks classic. We also got Harrison's, which this is a throwback to Rodney Childress's late model. So that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. Not one of my favorite looking paint schemes. It almost looks like TGI Fridays almost, so whatever that restaurant was called. Just that's kind of what it looks like to me almost. That's interesting. Going on down, of course. It's beautiful. Carl Lawson, HendrickCars.com, Terry Labonte colors. I mean, you cannot go wrong with that. They did such a great job on the paint scheme. So many of the different angles on this. It's just perfect the way they've done the merchandise as well and the graphics for announcing it. This thing looks great. I think you know which one's probably my favorite. We got this one right here. So they had a toss-up between three different paint schemes for RFK. Unfortunately, they selected this one. There was also an actual NASCAR one, but man, I can't remember the guy's name now. But boy, that would have been a much better paint scheme than this. Just because of the body lines and stuff, it just seems very... Doesn't seem like they utilized the paint scheme very well, honestly. It's still great castor oil colors, love it, but it's not as good as the other paint scheme, which as soon as I remember the guy's name, I'll let you know, but right now I can't remember his name to save my life, but it was a good paint scheme that they could have run instead of this. Nice Supra though, looks good. Moving on here, we got ourselves Corey LaJoie throwback, and this is the throwback to the K&N series. I'm guessing this might be a car he actually drove. It doesn't really say, we don't get a whole lot of information, but I'm going to guess that might be the connection here. Honestly, the colors don't match. The stripes are about the same. Colors don't match though. We got purple versus black, white, and red. We got purple, white, and red. We got Razzle Dazzle, which definitely doesn't look like that sponsor back there, so it's interesting. Needs some help with execution, but it's interesting. Moving on down, we've got the Dale Jr. throwback paint scheme riding on Chase Elliott's car. Very pretty. They did a good job recreating this. Obviously celebrating 40 years of Hendricks, so definitely looks really good. Got the golden number. It looks good. Like it. Moving on, we got ourselves the Mahindra throwback, and this is to a 1976 dirt sprint car throwback. Not sure the whole story on that. Looks like inspiration from Richard and Kevin Briscoe, so Briscoe Racing, so family racing in the sprint cars is where they took inspiration for this. So you kind of get the red of the roll cage, and then everything else gets that white with the font and the sponsors and stuff. It looks pretty good. I definitely like this whole graphic right here that they've been doing. The old truck running to the track. That's a really cool graphic like that. Paint scheme looks good. I like it. And it kind of does give even some older NASCAR vibes as well, with how you'd have like a different color on the cockpit, and then the rest of the car would be a totally different color. So it does still give a nice retro feel as well, even though it's just a sprint car throwback. It gives a nice retro feel. It's very nicely executed. Looks good. We got this paint scheme right here. It's throwing it back to the Leonard Wood Special. Not bad. You got the font of the numbers right. You kind of get the different wavy names and stuff going on with the body kind of going on. You got the names changed in different places, so that's cool. It's not bad. I'm not sure you could really do... Yeah, so look, there we go. We can look at this a little bit better. So yeah, you got all of that kind of copied. It's not bad, and they also changed the Dex Imaging logo to kind of match with the numbers. So that's cool. Oh, and I didn't see this, but I think there's actually dirt right here along the edge to let you know that it actually raced on dirt. That's kind of cool. Not one of my favorites, but nicely done to try and get it as close as possible to the font and stuff. That's cool. Then we got, of course, the Jeff Gordon throwback paint scheme. Got Exalta on the hood. Got the nice big bow tie on the nose. It looks good. I mean, you cannot beat a flamed race car. That's classic. Great looking for there on Byron. Then we got the Ryan Priest. This is a inspiration. Oh, for Ryan Priest. So one of his late models, 2013 to 2014. He ran that paint scheme. Looks pretty good. You can kind of see a thin blue line right there. Number font's a little bit more slanted and squashed almost, so a little bit on the thinner side. But that's a pretty looking race car. And also, it's once again got that same kind of body line, dual tone color that kind of gives you the retro NASCAR feel anyways. So that's pretty neat. Got the nice orange over the cabin and stuff. So like it. Looks really good. And ooh, we got JCB on board the car. That's neat. Nice to see a different tractor and utilities brand on there. That's cool. Then we got this paint scheme. So this is a 1982 Tim Richmond throwback scheme. Let me look this up real quick. Alrighty guys, so here we go. So this is the Tim Richmond Motorcraft number 29 from 1982. So we look at this, and then we look at that. We look at this, and we look at that. It's actually pretty close. So, the only thing I can probably see is that you got this right here with the lines up here a little bit weird, but other than that, doesn't look too bad. I had never seen this paint scheme before, so that's pretty cool. And the only thing that I think probably mars it here is the Monster Beast logo on the back. Just kind of ruins the paint scheme, honestly, to keep it looking modern. So that's the only problem I have with this paint scheme, really. Everything else seems like it matches up decently, but definitely this right back here, definitely a problem. So if he wins, and apparently since Monster Energy doesn't like having their stuff on diecast and merchandise, potentially they can just totally erase this whole back section and just give it the actual classic look. I don't know. Possibility. We got Ally, of course, throwing it back to Jimmy John. Looks pretty good. Classic Lowe's look. We got the classic bow tie on the hood. Looks really, really good. Like it. Well done paint scheme. We got the yellow numbers back, of course. Nice. Then we got Zane Smith, and this is a throwback to Dave Marcus. Interesting. Let me look this up here. Alright, I couldn't find anything for this particular paint scheme to see if I could get a good feel of what it was supposed to be, but you do get I like how they did the chrome right up here. That's kind of nice. But you get the chrome bumper on the back of it. So nice classic look though. With the 71, looks like they got yep, they got the 358 on the hood and stuff with focused health. So that's neat. Okay, not too bad. Ooh, and I think also you're getting the classic wheel look or classic tire look there as well. That's not too bad. It'll look pretty good. Nice plain color race car. That'll be neat. And then we got this one right here. This is a throwback to 2004 Adrian Fernandez from IndyCar. I didn't think you could make an IndyCar throwback on a NASCAR, but it turned out pretty good. Not too bad. The only thing I see that you could have changed up is probably switch the spoiler to red to kind of match right back here. That's the only thing I can see that might have been a difference that you could have made. Also, the Quake Estate logo only visible right about here, but it's taking up a ton of space on this thing here. That's the only real critiques I have, but they threw back the number fonts, which is cool. You get the red on the top of the roof. It looks pretty good. Not too bad. Alright guys, moving on down into the Xfinity series here, we got the throwback to Johnny Sauter and Haas CNC Racing, when he had the giant yellow and tiger stripes apparently. That's a neat looking car. But anyways, we got the classic throwback with the truck and the hauling trailer, so that's really cool. They changed up the font on the 00, and they got Haas CNC trying to match that yellow font, which is pretty cool. It's a nice looking paint scheme. You're definitely going to notice it, that's for sure. Moving on down here, we got ourselves... Who is this? This is Patrick Emerline, number 07 for Green Light. This is a Giant Liti modified throwback, so we can see that right here. Nice looking throwback to the modified there. Looks like we got Liberty Brew coffee on there, looks like. Looks neat, nice and clean. You got the changed up number font. Liberty Brew changed up the logo for the back here. You got the logo that looks really good. Looks like we're running chrome wheels, which I'm definitely a fan of different wheel colors, and this looks neat, nice on it. Cool, like that paint scheme. It looks pretty good. Definitely nice and clean. And then we got the Brant's paint scheme, which they're throwing it back to themselves. Nothing really to do with racing, but it doesn't look too bad. Kind of throwing it back to the truck, I guess. Interesting. Not one of my favorite paint schemes, but it works. I liked how they did the font, though. They changed up the fonts to throw it back, so that's nice. Yeah, not one of my favorites, though, but nice to work on the fonting anyways. We got Sammy Smith. He's throwing it back to Mike Brooks' throwback scheme. Not totally sure what that has to do with anything. But TMC, nice flat black race car. I like definitely like the 8 and the TMC logo with this graphic here. That looks nice. I'm not sure if this is going to be reflective or not, but if it is, that's going to look pretty good. So flat black with light orange, and then this, it's going to look pretty good. Like it. Alright, moving on, because we got a junior throwback with Save Big Money at Menards. The only thing I can see right here is that they didn't quite get the blue Hellman's logo down onto the hood here, but we'll take what we can get because it looks good. Nice looking paint scheme for sure. So like that. Nice Dale Jr. throwback. That's always a pretty car, like that one. Nice. Moving on down here, we got Creed, and we got a Ivan Strutt off-road racing throwback. So just classic Toyota racing. Like these colors, it's always cool. I prefer these colors on more of a black base race car, though. It seems like it stands out a little bit better, but still, not bad. Moving on down, we got Austin Hill and the throwback to Bennett Transportation. And I can kind of see where they're going with it, but also not really. What you got is they're trying to throw it back to the old haulers, the old semi-truck Bennett's here. It's not bad, but it seems like the colors are not in the correct spot if we're trying to match it up to this right here. Seems like it's a little bit inversed. It's a good looking race car, though. I do like it. Nice straight lines and stuff, but I wouldn't necessarily call this a throwback. Not bad, though, but I'm not sure I would call that a throwback. And then, of course, we got Young's Building with Leland Honeyman Jr. And it's Days of Thunder. Days of Thunder and Kyle Petty. But Days of Thunder, for the most part, is where I get my inspiration. But I like how they changed up the logo. They got Young's Building. They got the house down here, which is really cool. Excellent job. The only thing I see back here is that they only got one thing back here. Instead of having the yellow, mellow yellow, they only got Randy or something back there. I can't quite tell what that is, but only one line of text, so you don't get the double letters. But still, this right here changed up all of this to get it to look right. Nice. That's a nice looking paint scheme. I always like the lime green on the bottom as well. So that's... Oh, and they threw back their announcement there too. So kind of threw it back to the old NASCAR and Darlington logo. So that's nice. And then, of course, more Days of Thunder. Pal Ryan Ellis has got ourselves fixed up with Cold Trickle and Classic Collision. They even got the bow tie. Luckily, it's on a bow tie, so that helps. But Classic Collision on here. That is a nicely done paint scheme. Nice. That's a good one. Bright. You would not miss that one. And then probably my favorite, another Kyle Petty throwback. Obviously, part of celebrating 75 years of the Petty family in racing. C&W and Sons, and they're able to get it done with the Hot Wheels mock-up logo. And they even switched up the Prime logo to make it look like Richard Petty Motorsports. That is pretty. That is a very nice paint scheme. Don't forget, guys, you can vote for these paint schemes on the Darlington website. Make sure you check that out. I have it linked down in the description below. But that right there, that's probably my favorite Xfinity scheme, hands down. That one's just beautiful. Looks good. I like it. We got, what do we got here? We got Jeremy Clements, and he's throwing it back to Robert Presley. Throwback. Ooh, nice. So that looks good. I think the interior on this was red, though, if I'm seeing the picture right. That's kind of cool. I liked it when they had the different interior cab colors. That was always neat. From this picture, obviously we don't know if they adjusted it or anything. It looks like the shading might be a little bit off, at least in the render. But it looks pretty good. They changed up the font. They even got Alliance on board. Alliance Driveway Solutions. Probably a different company, but still, that's pretty cool. Nicely done. Great job for Jeremy Clements Racing there. That looks nice. And then we got Shane Van Gisbergen. This is cool. I totally forgot that he could have done a throwback. So this is neat. So first season in, he's already got a throwback he's running. Marcos Ambrose, the throwback scheme. This is always a pretty one. I like it. That's cool. Nice. He's been doing really good this season. Really excited to see what he can do throughout. But that's really cool. And then we got Riley Herbst and throwing it back to Terrible Herbst Motorsports. Years 1990s to early 2000s. Obviously the off-road truck racing. But throwing it back to that. Oh yeah, even got the Terrible Herbst logo on it. Interesting. That's interesting. Got Monster Energy on the back. Huh. That's a good looking paint scheme. I definitely like the race cars when they do just the flat colors. Just not a whole lot of graphics, just one color. It does look pretty good. I can't tell if they threw back the number font or not, but still, nice looking race car. Moving on down to the truck series, we got Nick Sanchez and Rev Racing Chevrolet. And this is a throwback, apparently, to the Drive for Diversity 20th Anniversary throwback scheme. I don't remember this paint scheme at all. So, moving on. Going down here, we got ourselves Corey Heim in the Tricon Garage, throwing it back to Cale Yarborough 1974 throwback scheme. I need to check this one out myself here. I just need to... This looks like a safe light scheme. It does not look like a Cale Yarborough scheme, but I'm going to find out here. Alrighty guys, so after conferring with the judges, also known as me, myself, and I, we have confirmed and can confirm that this right here and this right here do appear to be the same. Just the render is a little bit off. Interesting. I never saw this paint scheme either, so that's pretty cool. Okay. We have conferred and can confirm that this is actually a Cale Yarborough paint scheme. Sometimes people take a little bit too much liberty with these schemes, so I just have to check these things just in case. But yes, that actually is a Cale Yarborough paint scheme. Looks good. Man, moving on down here, we got Tanner Gray, and this is Tanner Gray 2018 Pro Stock Championship. NHRA throwback scheme. Eh? I have no idea. Looks like a Did on Tools throwback. Or Did on Tools paint scheme. I don't know. Doesn't really look like much of a paint scheme. Anyways, moving on, we got ourselves the Taylor Gray, not to be confused with Tanner Gray, the Taylor Gray 2000 Superflow Hensley Racing, Mark Green 2000 throwback scheme. I think I remember this one. Let's look this one up here real quick. Yeah, so they even got down to getting the Tiger on there. So obviously Shop Tricon is what they put on there, but nicely done with the logo and everything. I did have to double check this, but nicely done on the paint scheme. That looks really, really good. Nice. Moving on, we've got ourselves another Days of Thunder throwback. Tyler Ankrum running the Russ Wheeler from Days of Thunder throwback. And this actually looks really, really good with the sponsor And they did a good job redoing all the fonts and stuff. Nicely done. Nice looking paint scheme. I like that. Moving on down, we've got ourselves Christian Eckes in the Brownie King, 1950s 60s throwback scheme. So there we go. We can see this right here, and then actually a die cast it appears, or model of the car. Nicely done. So obviously this thing didn't have a roof, but still nicely done on the paint scheme. Changed up the font. Got the Brownie King right there. Ooh, 700 horsepower. Got that on the hood. And then got the nice graphic going along the whole side to match the trim. Only thing I see here is that you could have gone to white wheels. That would also have helped make the scheme. But other than that, nice looking paint scheme. Well done. Very good. Ooh, we got Infinity Communications Lane Rigs. If I remember correctly, this is an Aussie Cola throwback, is what I'm going to assume it is, just looking at the logos here. But we got a Scott Riggs throwback, so throwing it back to, I believe it's his dad. It looks good. That's a nice looking paint scheme. I need to look up this paint scheme for real, though. So this is the only thing that I could find here, and this is auctions something or other, but Aussie Cola right there, so nicely done on the paint scheme. That looks really, really good. Got the Ford Performance also in there, which really matches the sponsor logo. That is well done. That is a nice look paint scheme. Sweet. Like that one. That is really, really good. Ooh, here we go. We got, ooh, alright, so Bailey Curry, Czech Effald, 1980 Dirt, probably butchered that guy's name. Sorry about that. 1980 Dirt Late Model Throwback. Nice. I like that. Did a good job getting the sponsor in here. Kind of cut off the lines though, but other than that, did a good job. Really nicely done on the colors, and also I like this as well. You got that nice black bumper going on in the front, so that's pretty cool. Nicely done. Probably a few different things they could have tried to make it look a little bit more like this up here, but I mean the colors look really, really good, and they also got that nice blackout on the hood, so that's going to be a good looking paint scheme. Nice. Moving on down, we have got Daniel Dye throwing it back to Kyle Petty and Peak. And they even got Peak on board. Check it out. That is cool. Almost matched the logo. A little bit different font back here on the Kyle Petty in 1989. But they got the basic idea going on. Looks good. Always liked Kyle Petty paint schemes. These are really cool. That looks nice. Well done on that. That's going to be a cool paint scheme to see. And then, of course, the paint scheme that I am heavily biased in. This is a throwback to Bobby Hamilton for Richard Petty Motorsports or Richard Petty Racing. It's gone through the 3 different names, so I don't remember the exact one that he raced for him for. But this is a Bobby Hamilton throwback, and it's also in celebration of Petty's 75 years of racing. So really like this. Writing on back on here. So really, really cool. Very biased to this paint scheme. Very pretty. Classic Petty colors. Classic Petty number. I mean, it's a very pretty paint scheme. Make sure you guys are voting for your favorite paint scheme on the Darlington website, because you can do that. But very biased towards this one right here with Thad Moffat and Faction 46. Nice looking paint scheme. Moving on down, this is a new one that I haven't seen, and this is Stuart Friesen and the Jimmy Johnson Coke 600 2010 throwback. And basically, it got everything done. It even got the Lowe's logo on there as well. Nicely done. That looks good. That's going to be a pretty paint scheme. Hopefully they bring that back. I don't remember, did the trucks race Memorial Weekend at Charlotte? I don't remember. I think, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. So, I mean, obviously, if they just bring this back for that race as well, I mean, that would work out perfectly as well, since they probably have an extra sheet of this wrap. Honestly, that's what I would do, because you already got it done. Might as well do it again. But nicely done on the Jimmy Johnson throwback. Then we got Jack Wood. This is the last paint scheme that is currently up and at 'em. And so this is Jack Wood throwback to 1952 Tim Flock. Take a look at the actual paint scheme right there. Very pretty race car. And nicely done here on the paint scheme. It looks very, very good. Got Arctic aboard, which looks really good. Nicely done. Nice paint scheme. I think the only thing I see here is that this is more, could be just the lighting, but I think it's a cream color. So that's the only thing that I can really kind of get on. This is white. But also, imagine if this had blue wheels. Imagine that. This thing would be beautiful. It is beautiful, but that would really help it as well. Oh, and you also got the little coolers and stuff here on the back being advertised by Arctic as well. But nicely done. Arctic let them change up the colors on their logo to match with the paint scheme. So, hey, I like it when the sponsors allow that to be happen. So, nice job by Arctic and really good looking Jack Wood paint scheme. Alright guys, so now the question is, what are my top 5 favorite paint schemes from this weekend? And I think what I'm going to do is top 3 on each group. So let's start off with Cup here. Actually, no, let's start off with trucks. We'll start off with trucks. We'll go with that. Alright, so what are my top 3 paint schemes for the truck series? Well, let's take a look here. This one, blah. This one, yes, it's a Cal Yarborough paint scheme, but it screams way too much safe light, so it just, This one, I don't know what to do with that one. This one, they actually got it very true to the paint scheme, but Tiger, not my thing. This right here, Days of Thunder, very, very cool. This also is well done here. I mean, Brownie King. You know what, I gotta go with Brownie King. This is number 3 in my books right here. There's so many good ones, though. This right here, Kyle Petty. Ugh. Tough, tough, tough. Now, I gotta change this up. Okay. This, Brownie King, we'll give you honorable mention. You're number 4. RC Coda, we gotta put you in there as well. Another honorable mention. We gotta put Kyle Petty. We gotta put him in 3rd. I mean, that is a beautiful looking paint scheme. I love that. That is well done. Then we got to put this in 2nd because this just, it's a beautiful car. Color. You don't get to see these colors on track very often. Just that light blue. Also, Arctic did a good job, and then their logos and stuff get color changed to match. So well done to them. Like it. That's number 2. And then of course, because I'm absolutely totally biased in one instance, this has got to be the number 1 paint scheme for me. I mean, this. Beautiful petty colors, but also I happen to be writing about it, so I mean, gotta be biased and put this up as my number 1 favorite truck. Just gotta do that, okay? So, that's my favorite truck right there. But really, really close with these. Then we get to Xfinity series, and this is where things are really, really tough. So let's start back from the top. This one, well done on the paint scheme. Once again, Tiger Stripes, not necessarily my thing, but well done. This right here, beautiful looking paint scheme. It looks like it has coffee on it. Definitely an honorable mention. Like that. This one, This one, the chrome letters and numbers look good, but Dale Jr., we see this quite often, so it's like, is it a throwback or is it just another paint scheme? It's a Dale Jr. paint scheme, but we get to see this quite often, so it's not quite that big of a throwback to me quite yet, but it is beautiful. Nice mention. This, Toyota. This one, not a throwback. This one, definitely a throwback. Definitely a throwback. Definitely a throwback. This, nicely done. This, I like it, but I've got to go with these guys, so let's see here. We got to go. This is number 3 right here. Nicely done on getting the Chevy logo on board. Ryan Ellis, number 3. We got to go number 2, though, with that mellow yellow look. Beautiful looking paint scheme. Honeyman Jr. right there. And then, of course, got to go, even though I really don't like this driver, Mr. Poole. Sorry, don't like you. Can't help it, just, I don't. Sorry. But the paint scheme this weekend, it's fire. It's really good. So, there we go. Prime Racing. Beautiful Kyle Petty throwback, so we got to go with that one as number 1. Don't vote for the driver, vote for the paint scheme. That's how we work. The Cup Series, this, this, ooh, this, 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 oh, that's, You get all the noises, right? You get how hard this decision is. This, it's a very pretty paint scheme, but it's not a NASCAR throwback. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not a NASCAR throwback. This, it's a pretty paint scheme. Not bad, though. This right here, Jimmy Johnson, classic Lowe's colors, looks good. This, Monster Energy, you ruined it. And then this looks really good. That, Classic Flames. That doesn't look bad. This... Oh, this is tough. Honorable mention Castrol. I still don't like the fact that they didn't go with an actual NASCAR Throwback for this, because they had a really, really good one in the wings. But it's definitely an honorable mention. But I gotta go with, was there another one? Yeah, we gotta go with Chase Briscoe in third. Just like the classic look of it. It's definitely a classic looking NASCAR paint scheme. It's not necessarily a NASCAR paint scheme, but it is a classic looking paint scheme that you would have seen raced back in the day for NASCAR. Just really, really good looking paint scheme. Then I gotta go with Ryan Preece here. That orange, that beautiful blue color, nicely done on the throwback. Once again, another paint scheme that you would see raced in NASCAR back in the day. Just really looks good. And then I have got to go with Kyle Larson and the Terry Labonte throwback. You can't get better than that. That is just pure art right there. That is pure nostalgia. It's a great paint scheme. Love it. That is my #1 paint scheme for the Cup Series. So, well done. Nicely done by the whole team to get this put together, because that is a great looking paint scheme. So, anyways, guys, those are my top 3s. That is the NASCAR throwback paint schemes that are currently out as of the time that I recorded this video. That's going to be it for us here today. Let us know what your favorite paint schemes are down in the comments below. And we'll see you guys here next time on the Combustion Guys YouTube channel. Make sure to check out Friday nights as we're riding around with Thad Moffat in the Truck Series. Make sure you vote for your favorite paint scheme too, specifically that one. And we'll see you guys here next time. Bye-bye.